What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Guys, we back with another one. I'm here with Swedish prisons versus American prisons, and I got a video here with Steven Thyron, and wanted to check it out real quick. It's a short video, but I also found an article. It was dated back in 2020. Maybe I can find some recent and stuff and do that. But I've seen the Norden talking about policing. I've seen the Norden. Small clip talking about the prison, but I am going to do that full video as well here soon. But just knowing the differences. Now, I had some people comment on the policing and stuff when it came to the Norden that I did. And they were like, most targeted small cities, which I understand. With small city, it's not too much you need to do. Me personally, we hear all the crimes and stuff that happens in the U.S., in my city, I can't say there is no crime, but it's minor compared to a larger city that's next to me. A larger city, bigger city is gonna have a lot more, a lot more going on there, which is understandable because I had some people comment was like, what they should have did show like Oslo, maybe Stockholm, Helsinki. That would have been the difference maker right there when it comes to policing and different situations that they have to uphold, which makes sense. Like I said, larger cities, more people, a little bit more active. So like the things you may see in bigger cities in Texas or something like that, it may not be going on in my city. Don't get me wrong, things do go on, but it's not the majority. It's not often. So that's understandable how, police officers have to move according to the different cities that they're in, whether big or small. It's going to be different. But Steven finna give us something right here that, like I said, found that article. So make sure y'all stick to the end. Hit that subscribe button. Maybe you got another video you want to show me, but we checking this out. What you got?
I watched a YouTube video that was describing the differences of American and Swedish prisons, and the difference is absolutely insane.
Sweden not only has a shrinking
I've
prison
seen that
population
video.
while the U.S. is growing, but its
I've seen that
recidivism
one.
rate is at 29% after 3 years.
Dang.
The U.S. meanwhile has a recidivism rate of 67%.
Look at that. That's a high
after 3 years. Clearly, a focus on treating prisoners humanely and treating psychological and other issues while building life skills is working to make Sweden a safer place.
And this doesn't just go for Sweden, this goes for many of the Scandinavian countries. I saw a documentary on the Norwegian prison system, which is very similar to what they have here in Sweden, versus America, and it's completely different.
It's not for
I've seen this one too.
Judge. Or to punish. We have to interact and be human.
I've seen this one too.
I think it's as simple as that.
Now, if you compare per capita, America has way more prisoners than Sweden has. And
that's a lot.
if you look at the treatment
we're
of
bigger,
the
of course,
prisoners
but
in each of these countries, it's extremely different. If you visit a prison in Sweden or Norway, or if you watch some YouTube videos about it, like I did, it almost looks more like a college dorm room in some cases.
Yeah,
a lot of times
for
the
sure.
inmates will have their own.
That's what I said, Steven. I said the same thing. I was like, this look more like a dorm, especially the first time I watched. But
Room with
totally
more
different,
like a college dorm room in some cases. A lot of times the inmates will have their own room with a computer, a TV, video games, and all these sorts of things where they can relax and have their own space. They're able to cook food when there's sharp knives and things in the kitchen. And the prison
looks like they got good food options.
It's really focused on rehabilitation. They don't really have lifelong prison sentences in Scandinavia normally. Like,
I need to see where this video is. Maybe this is on that Northern prison one. Like, I didn't see this detail. They cooking almost culinary in here.
Lifelong prison sentences in Scandinavia normally. Like, that's not really a thing. Whereas in America, if you
criminal
really
records,
mess up and if you commit,
that gotta be the funniest thing ever. Criminal records.
Like, that's not really a thing. Whereas in America, if you really mess up,
sense of humor. If you're like, oh, darn, that's not, it's sense of humor. That's hilarious.
And if you commit murder or rape or some of these more serious crimes in America, you can be put away in prison for life and have no hope of coming back into society.
In Sweden, the collective view is that while crime must be punished, the individuals who commit these crimes will one day be rejoining society. And thus, prison represents less a tool for punishment and more a chance to reform an individual while removed from the general population.
The biggest difference in the prison system, I think, between Scandinavia and America is that in America, the prison system is viewed as a way of punishing people for wrongdoing. Whereas in Sweden, it seems like the prison system is more geared towards rehabilitation, trying to make the prisoners
That's what it's all about.
so that when they come back into society, they don't commit those same crimes again. Now, if I were to choose one system that seems better than the other, I have to say I really do like the more holistic approach that they have here in Scandinavia when it comes to rehabilitating the prisoners when they do things wrong. But at the same time, if you were to talk to corrections officers or people in charge of the justice systems or prison systems in America, a lot of them feel like they really do need to have a more strict prison system, and they cannot give prisoners in America those same sorts of freedoms.
Inmates are in.
And I feel like, before I get to this part, I feel like too, like here in America, you see people that go to prison, the things they were doing on the outside of the prison, they go in there and kind of almost live the same lifestyle with limits. Like, there's still people getting killed in prison. There's still people committing crimes in prison in America. Why? Like I said, no rehabilitation, no help to, help them mentally and stuff like that, and help them to really rehab and know that you're going to be back in the general population. What happens? Most guys that's on the street, they go in there and they pretty much continue to be that way. Not all. You can't say that for all, though. That's the thing. Not all, but it's a good percentage. If we're comparing country, it's a good percentage still, but not all do that. Some actually come with a better mindset and focus on not going back in, but you can't say that for everybody,
Prison system, and they cannot give prisoners in America those same sorts of freedoms.
Inmates are in prison as a punishment. Their country is not that big. They don't have the predatory instincts like the criminals here do. They don't have the gang problems. They don't have the drug problem.
I did see Sweden do have a gang and drug problem in certain areas. I seen that video.
Here do. They don't.
It's like a certain area though. It ain't
problems.
all of it.
They don't have the drug problems.
Norway has murderers. They have criminals, drug dealers. But you don't think it can work here?
I don't. I think the way that they were brought up there, their way of thinking is not the way the criminal element here thinks.
If you look at the levels of violence between inmates on other inmates in Sweden, it's much, much lower than the level of violence between inmates in America. So it would be maybe a little bit worrisome if America were to have a bit more relaxed rehabilitative approach. They almost have to be more strict because there does seem to be more problems in the American prison system. Another thing to consider is that Sweden is a country that is so much smaller than America, so it's much easier to handle a country with 10 million people versus over 300 million people, and having even fewer prisoners per capita in Sweden than what people have in America.
But I feel like when it comes to America, you can, because every system is different, you can break it down state to state still. But like you said, Steven got a point. Like, the difference is 5 million versus 300 million. Because they try to, in America, once they see you as a criminal and all that, as he mentioned, it's more used as punishment, which it shouldn't be.
Perhaps Sweden can devote more resources towards rehabilitation, whereas just using it as a punishment. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way when it comes to this, but I did think that this difference was
a big difference
to me. So with that, guys, that's going to do it for this video.
It's a big difference. Like I said, I did find this. This is from the Horizon Sun. So, yes, the Swedish prison system. If y'all can see that, hopefully y'all can see that good. But our role is to not punish. Role is prison. The punishment is the prison sentence. They have been deprived of their freedom, and the punishment is that they are with us. Which I feel wholeheartedly right there. That's the difference maker. We're taking away your freedoms. Basically, we're taking away your freedom. You can't just go and do as you please. Should that be enough? You would think. But if I don't even want to, I don't know, if you're in Europe and different things like that, if y'all seen different prison shows about here in America, you'll be like, oh my God. Like, they have to sleep on that. They have to do that, you know. I seen a guy said it was a celebrity. He got bailed out for this one show, but he said he was in there. He said the toilet water that he used the restroom with had to be the water he drunk and make noodles, cook noodles with. That's wild. Like, that's unhuman. Like, that's not right. That's not right at all. Like, at this point, you know, animals are treated better than that, you know. But here's a good one right here. This sentence. The system obviously worked because, according to The Guardian, Swedish prisoner numbers have dropped to 5,722 to 4,500 last year. 4 prisons were closed because of this. They closing down prisons. That's crazy. Swedish prison focus on rehabilitation of prisoners to limit reoffenders. Sweden has the smallest number of reoffenders in all of Europe, just 16%. This is in contrast to American punitive prison system, which is overcrowded. Facts. Many mentally ill prisoners locked up, and that's the thing. Mentally ill, a lot of them. Mindset, and you can say the way we brought up. He made a good point. Stephen made a good point when he said that. Just because a lot of people are not brought up with the right instruction, you know. I mean, here in America, it's a high teenage pregnancy rate as well. So you pretty much got kids having kids, and they have to raise these kids with what information, you know? So I feel like that's the difference. Just seeing how people are raised, what they know and stuff. Because I've done different things with school systems in Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, you know. And the way y'all brought up and the way y'all teach them, it's like they know. Not saying I can't speak for everybody on that, but just seeing the statistics, the difference maker, and just my surroundings, me personally, my surroundings, I see what it do to people. You see how certain people are brought up, but the thing is, certain people can still have a change of mind. That's the difference right there. People can still change their mind. I've seen people been brought up the right way, but they still were influenced by their peers. You see people that was, you know, brought up in a way they didn't have much information, but eventually they changed their mindset and got the right information and made a better life for themselves. So it's all due to choice at the end of the day. And in America, your poor choices can lead you there. And that can be a choice of just keep getting speeding tickets and you will go to jail. You can it's based on choices, which is crazy because, like, just think how many people are in jail or in prison in America that ain't commit a crime, that are pretty much guilty until proven innocent. So you got innocent people in prison that are just waiting, sitting there. I think I just seen, maybe this year, I at least seen already 4 or 5 people get released from prison that did like 20, 30 years from crimes they did not commit, and they finally found the evidence. So that's the difference maker right there. It make a huge difference. Sad to say, sad to see, but obviously, like, they should still, you know, your freedom taken away. But if you have a normal life, you can still go to work. Now, some of these prisons, they do have jobs and stuff. You know, you might be in charge of cooking. You might be in charge of cleaning or something. You know, you might still have a job, but it's like you can't take those necessary, you know, necessary skills, not necessary skills, but those necessary human right to do, you know, human things to do, like cleaning up, cooking, eating. Like, that's where it becomes bad. But that's all I have for this one. Y'all let me know what you think, because I can keep going on and on. It's a sad case, man. I feel like American prison, will it get better? It's a lot of money in this. It's a whole lot of money. That's another thing. That's another subject. The money, you know, people got to pay money for these things too. And people getting bailed out, people, you know, putting money on family members' books and all those things. Like, these are different things you got to take into consideration. What America does, we want the money. That's what they want. They want the money. And if it's making money, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of mindset, which is sad to have, because I care about people out here being, you know, not being, you know, being being human out here, actually being adults, living, you know, being law-abiding citizens. That's the word. That's what's important. But they don't care as long as they're making money. That's sad. But that's all I have. Hit that subscribe button. If you got some more videos, send them my way. That's all I have. Y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.